This video will just be a review of some problems that I had you do in class. I checked them. There was quite a few little problems that I want us to look at. The way I would say you could use this video is by write down the problem on a piece of paper, solve it, push pause, write it down on a piece of paper, push pause, solve the problem, and then watch me do it and see how you did. And I will be teaching you as I talk through these problems. Okay, number 14. This is on page 101 in our math book. All right, I'm gonna move this up here. It's addition of linear expressions, algebraic expressions. Okay, so I see that it has parentheses, and because the parentheses have some terms that can't be put together, they're not like terms, so I'm not going to do anything with it. So I can actually get rid of the parentheses. So it's a negative 3.4k minus 7 plus 3k plus 21. And I'm going to circle my terms. I have 4 terms. And I'm going to put the like terms together, okay? And I'm adding, you always add your like terms together. So negative 7 plus a positive 21, that gets me a positive 14. And then I'm going to add these two together, negative 3.4k plus 3k. That's going to get me a negative 0.4k. Okay? And that's what that is. I can't go any simpler than that. And that's how you add together a couple linear expressions. Okay, next one. This one is subtraction. So that was the only adding nonlinear, adding linear expressions. These, the subtraction ones, seem to be causing a little bit more of a problem. So I'm gonna work through these. I see that I have some things in the parentheses that can't go together, but I don't want to subtract. So it's all of this. It's like that one unit subtracting all of this. I don't want to do that. I want to add the opposite. So I'm going to change this from subtraction to adding, but then I have to do the opposite of everything in these parentheses. So the opposite of 2 is negative 2. The opposite of negative 3d is a positive 3d. Now I have it just like the addition. So now it's 6d plus 5 plus negative 2 plus 3d. Now I have a term, a term, a term, and a term. Okay, I'm going to add all these together. Let's do my like terms. This one here. I have a positive 5 plus a negative 2. That would be a 3. And then if I add 6d to 3d, that gets me plus 9d. Okay. Here's another subtraction one. I'm going to do a lot of these subtraction ones because we got to figure this out. And when I see subtraction, I think, oh, I don't really want to do subtraction. I want to add the opposite of everything. So it's a negative 2y. Now that's a positive 16. Okay, so it's 4 minus 5y plus negative 2y plus 16. Okay, I have that, and that. I see the 4 and the 16 are both constants, so I'm going to put those together, and that gets me 20. And then a negative 5y plus a negative 2y is minus 7y. Okay. I think once you do the add the opposite, it will be much simpler to be able to put your terms together. Add the opposite. Okay. Another one, number 22. Again, it's subtraction. So when I see subtraction, I like to add the opposite. Change that to adding. I have to make this the opposite, and I have to make that the opposite. So now I have 2n minus 9 plus 2.4n minus 4. And I have a 2n, negative 9, positive 2.4n, and a negative 4. Let's put our n's together. 2n plus 2.4n, that is 4.4n. And then a negative 9 plus a negative 4 is a negative 13. So should have got, for number 22, 4.4n minus 13. Let's do number 23 here. And we got some fractions, but that's okay. We can deal with fractions. We're good. It's subtraction. So we're going to add the opposite. Add. Opposite of 3/8 is negative 3/8. Opposite of plus 3/6 is minus 3c, not 6. 3c. 3c. Okay. So now I have a minus 8c plus 16 plus a negative 3/8 minus 3c. That, and that. Let's put our c's together, these two right here. So I'm going to add a negative 1/8 c plus a negative 3c. It's going to give me a negative 3 and 1/8 c. And then I'm going to put these two together, my plus 16 and my plus 3/8. And that's going to get me a, oh, but this is a negative. Okay. So now I have to find the difference. So 16 over 1 minus 3 over 8. Let's make this into 8. That's still going to be 3/8. So then I just have to go 16 times 8, 128. And then I'm going to do 128 minus 3 equals 125 over 8. Then how many times does 125 go into 8? Goes in there 15 times. 15 times 8 is 120. So that leaves 5/8. And it's a positive, so it's a plus 15, 5/8 C. Wait a minute, that one's not C, that's my constants. So, gotta get rid of that C. There we go. So the answer is negative 3 and 1/8 C plus 15 and 5/8. Another subtraction. And when we get to subtraction, we always think add the opposite. Add the opposite. Okay. So now I have a 9 over 4x plus 6 plus 5 over 4x plus 24. This is all adding. So it's kind of nice in that respect. So 9/4 x plus 5/4 x gets me, oh, they have the same denominator. Very cool. 14/4 x plus 30. And I could make 14 4x into a mixed number, which would be 3 and 2/4, or 3.5 x plus 30. Number 25, subtraction. So we add, change that to from subtraction to add. Now the opposite of 1/4 n is a negative 1/4 n. The opposite of minus 8 is a positive or a plus 8. Okay, 1/3 minus 6m, can't put those together, plus negative 1/4 n plus 8. Can't put those together. So 1/3 negative 6m, negative 1/4 n, and 8. Now I see that I have an m here and an n here. I can't put those together, so they're going to just stay like they are. Now I have a 1/3 plus 8. So 8 and 1/3 minus 6m. And I could do plus a negative 1/4, or I could just do a minus 1/4 n. And that is the answer to that one. All right, 26. This one has 3 parentheses, and it's subtracting multiple things. So again, we see subtraction. We're going to think add the opposite. Add the opposite of 2.5s is negative 2.5s. The opposite of 8 is negative 8. Okay. Then I come over here and I want to add the opposite of 0.5q. It's going to be negative 0.5q. And the opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So now I'm going to write these out. I have 1 minus 5q, which I can't put together, plus negative 2.5s minus 8 plus negative 0.5q minus 6. And I have this. You know what I'm going to do is, so I have that term, that term, that term, that term, that term, and that term. And with the green, I'm going to mark all my constants. That's a constant, that's a constant, and that's a constant. So I'm going to put 1 plus negative 8 plus negative 6. Well, I know if I add these two together, negative 8 plus negative 6 is a negative 14. And then if I add 1 to that, it's a minus 13. Okay, now I have this negative 5q and a negative 0.5q. The s is something different, so we can't put those two together, or those together. So a negative 5q plus a negative 0.5q is a negative 5.5q. Then we have, so those two went together. So we just have this negative 2 minus 2.5s. I could have done plus negative 2.5s, but it's also the same as just minus 2.5s. So this is this simplified. Okay? Much easier when you simplify it. But again, you get to the subtraction and you just want to add the opposite. Okay, now we have a couple word problems I want to go through. The expression 17n plus 11 represents the perimeter of the triangle. So what we're looking for is we're looking for this side here. And we know that perimeter is 5n plus 6. It's that side plus 4n plus 5 plus, we'll call that x. X, because we don't know it, is going to equal my perimeter of 17n plus 11. So let's put these two together. There's nothing I can do in the parentheses, but I can do 5n plus 6 plus 4n plus 5. So I put my constant, or my variables together. 4n plus 5n is 9n, plus 6 and 5 together is 11. And then I'm going to add that to something, and that's going to get me the 17n plus 11. Now, I just got to figure out how to get rid of this here, so it'll leave me with this x all alone. If I subtract 9n plus 11, that gets me down to 0. But I got to do it on both sides of the equation. So minus 9n take that, minus 9n plus 11. Okay. And when I do that, I'm going to move all this up here a little bit. So 17n plus 11 minus 9n plus 11. Now I'm going to add the opposite. Change that to addition. Opposite of 9n is negative 9n. Opposite of positive 11 is negative 11. So now I have 17n plus 11 plus negative 9n minus 11. I have that, 4 terms. Let's put the n's together. 17n put together with a negative 9n gets me 8n. And then if I put these two together, a positive 11 plus a negative 11, that's 0. So my answer is 8n. 8n is the third side there of that triangle. Okay. One last one. A word problem. You burn 265 calories running and then 7 per minute swimming. Now we don't know how long we're swimming, so this is going to be 265 plus 7 times x is my minutes. And you know what? I'll make that an M to stand for minutes. That's you. And then let's go for the friend. The friend does 273 calories and 11 calories per minute. Okay. You each swim the same number of minutes. Find and interpret the difference. Okay, so the difference is subtraction. So I'm going to take what my friend did and subtract I take 273 plus 11 n m. I take that minus what I did, 265 plus 7m. Now I'm going to add the opposite, make that adding opposite of that, and then this becomes a negative. Okay. So 273 plus 11m plus negative 265 minus 7m. I have 4 terms. I need to scoot this up a little bit. Now I'm going to do my 273 minus my 265. So 273 minus 265 equals 8. And then I'm going to put my 11m with minus 7m. That gets me a positive 4m. And that's the difference between the two of us. Okay? So one of the keys that I've noticed is with subtraction of linear expressions, you just got to remember to add the opposite. And when you add the opposite, you need to make everything in that parentheses opposite. Usually there's a couple things, make them both opposite. If it's a plus 5, make it a minus 5. If it's a minus 2m, make it a plus 2m. You always do the opposite of everything in the parentheses. Okay, we will keep practicing. Definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always open to meeting with people individually to help you to understand and to find out how to do things. This is very important foundational material to algebraic equations, expressions, all of algebra.